We only taking what was ours. So you better not be the one to doubt us. 'Cause we gon' blow your mind. 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 We gon' blow your mind.
Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. We've got a good one on tap today, and there's going to be two quarterbacks ready to get it done on the gridiron. It's Breeze's Saints going up against Brady's Patriots. With that, let's welcome in our fine broadcast team. Here are Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thanks. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Tonight, we kick off the preseason with a good matchup right away between the New Orleans Saints and the New England Patriots. Hello, everybody. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden, and partner, our long national nightmare is over. After 6 months away, we're back to playing football.
And this is way better than Watergate, isn't it? Now we get to have some fun. Watch the veterans. They'll play a little bit. We know that. But the big thing, this new crop of rookies and young guys, they get their chance to take the field and earn their spot.
Here's a punter, Thomas Morstead, to get this one started. And we are underway in Foxborough. This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. So here come the Patriots getting ready on offense. And they're led out by their 4-time Super Bowl winning quarterback in his 17th season now for Michigan. It's Tom Brady.
If you want to see a guy who absolutely loves the game of football work, try and see Tom Brady at practice. It is absolutely fascinating. When he's not on the field with the offense, he's off on another field doing individual drills, staying sharp, staying in shape. This is a guy who says he wants to play 10 more years. He certainly works like it.
Now a first carry for LeGarrette Blount. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 11 yards on the pickup, and it gives the Pats a first down.
And that's a nice explosive run to get things started there. And there's something about when it's a night game, it seems a little bit more, meaning a little bit broader, a little bit crisper, maybe even the hitting and the contact's a bit more because guys have been waiting all day long to get
under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Sheldon Rankins, the rookie from Louisville, in there to drop him, and that will go into the books as the first sack of his young NFL career.
Now that was a passer's nightmare. The front door totally shut down by the defense, so he kept going backwards, hoping to find another avenue of escape. It didn't exist.
Now Brady throwing on second down. And he finds Danny Amendola. 11 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it 3rd down and 10. And a really good gain there on the post route. Partner, how do you know to go to that pass?
When you're running the ball effectively and the safety likes to dive up there to try and help tackle, that's when you want to hit him over the top of the post in the area he vacates.
To throw, it's Brady finding time. Great protection. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Well, they went with a nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're led out by their 6-foot quarterback. You may have heard of him. From Purdue, it's Drew Brees.
And when you think of Drew Brees, you think of production and you think of competitiveness. That guy competes on every snap, whether he's throwing it, moving around in the pocket, calling plays, you name it, he knows how to rally a team.
They run. It's Mark Ingram. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. And a very good offensive unit here. One of the reasons they're so good is running back Mark Ingram.
Took a little while for him to find his footing when he got into the league, but the former Heisman Trophy winner has it now and has really upped his pass receiving potential. A nice player.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up second down here. Again, they'll run with Ingram. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a third down. A quick look here at the Patriot defense.
Malcolm Butler's rise to fame culminated with a fantastic play in the Super Bowl, but what a tremendous success story. Totally off the radar, has turned himself into an NFL starter.
And the offense needs 7 out of this play on third down. Now Brees on third down. Throw complete right side to Cooks. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into it. Enemy territory.
As we continue to advance in the NFL, as people continue to scout players, they really don't care as much about body types as they care about those guys who can make people miss, run through tackles, and gain all that additional run after catch. Anybody has that ability, they want them on their team.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4. And the ball carrier there, Mark Ingram, in his 6th season now with the Saints.
Yet to have a 1,000-yard season, but any guy who wins the Heisman Trophy, you know the potential's always there.
Yeah, but you're right. Yet to get to 1,000. Had 769 last year in 12 games. On second down, Ingram. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. It's almost a tendency breaker.
Throwing on first is McCown. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field that's popped up in the air, I expect... someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
They toss to Ingram. Fights off another.
I think the second tackler would have learned from the first.
A nice job to get 8 there after the incompletion, and now they'll look at a 3rd and 2 coming up. Trying to keep the drive going here. This is play number 7 on 3rd and 2.
Looks like a nickel set here defensively on 3rd and 2.
Yeah, maybe expecting a throw. Now McCown underneath to Spiller. A pickup of 5 that time and a first down.
Would it be safe to say that as precise as routes are supposed to be run in the NFL, maybe they're not quite as precise in college ball?
That's accurate, yeah.
And I think we saw a college route in the NFL there. Just find the soft spot, find the dead zone, and find the first down. And that's what he just did.
On 1st and 10, here's McCown. catch here, left side, Thomas. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
McCown to throw on 2nd down. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal. They had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser-focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that...
Diving for the end zone, and the ball's knocked out. And it's picked up by the Patriots. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
You know, if this is the regular season, partner, we'd be talking about just how costly a mistake that was, but probably good for him to get it out of his system right now.
Just hope for him and the team it's not a sign of things to come.
Yeah, without a doubt. Plus, got to worry about making the team. Those types of errors don't help you.
And tough starting field position here. Now after the fumble recovery, it's Brady. And he's got Edelman for the first time. That's complete. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who could make plays with his feet and his arm. Got to the NFL and had to convert him to being a receiver and was drafted that way. And that conversion, oh boy, it's been good.
It's a gain of 5, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. This is the offense we're going to see coming up in this one, and LeGarrette Blount, the featured back.
The big knock on him coming out of college was his lack of speed, but it's definitely not his lack of power. He runs right through opposing tacklers and sets things up big for his offense.
Play action. Now it's Brady. Over the middle, it's Amendola. And he's brought down after a good gain. That one goes for 24 yards.
When you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had the read, figured out where the blitz was coming from, and went to a secondary.
Looking for Amendola, and it's intercepted. Delvin Breaux with a pick. And the return out shy of midfield at the 46-yard line.
Well, this wind is definitely going to be a factor as this game goes along. He's throwing straight into it here in the first quarter, and the ball fluttered on him a little bit. They'll definitely have to file that one away and make a mental note of it.
So after the INT, it's McCown now. Flush to his right. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It's a tried-and-true formula, and I don't think it'll change for as long as we play football. If someone's trying to throw the ball and you can put pressure on them and make it tough, that's only going to help your defense.
Yeah, he's since being hurried. He got rid of it before taking the hit, but incomplete. Now McCown. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and that'll make it 3rd down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make someone miss in the open field. A short game that doesn't get him the 1st down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. So a turnover-filled first quarter of play comes to an end. 0-0 our score, and we'll return to Foxborough after this.
This presentation of the NFL on EA Sports is brought to you by Snickers. You're off your game when you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Patriots in possession to begin quarter number 2. They take over 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. Now the Patriots offense, they work their way back out onto the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities. Seeing that play. Understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays. Makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
Double tight, guys, double tight. Hey, 4 down, 4 down. Now let's go! Over!
Now a carry for the shifty Dion Lewis. And he's able to pick up the 1st before he's taken down at the 27. 12 yards there as they move the chains. So here we go, 1st and 10 now.
Give them a lot of credit. They ended up running the ball on a key 3rd down situation. They were staring 3 and out in the face and found a way to flip the script and keep the ball moving on offense.
He's got time. And complete on the right side to Bennett. And he's brought down after a good gain. 23 yards on the play. 1st down and 10 now for the offensive group. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's got to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Garoppolo now sets up the screen to Lewis. And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Dion Lewis, 35 yards. And the Patriots have taken the lead. There are several elements to a well-executed screen pass. This one resulted in a touchdown. It had all of those elements.
Hey, you're so right because you really need the rush to almost get to the quarterback, almost get to the passer. Then you've got to get the ball thrown perfectly, whether it's to the running back, the wide receiver, whoever the screen guy is. And, of course, the blocking has to form in front to get him downfield for the touchdown.
And terrific field position here as they finally get him just shy of the midfield stripe.
And that's the kind of return you're looking for. To get to that spot on the field, that allows you to do a lot of things on offense.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a 1st down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3-and-out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. McCown going to throw. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And he's brought down. Give him 13 on the pickup there. And the Saints are going to get a first down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. Now it looks like we'll get a timeout as there's a Saints player down here on the field. Definitely the last thing you want to see here in a preseason game. We'll be right back. McCown looks to throw again. Steps away to his left. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and they're going to face a third down.
Well, he did a nice job keeping his eyes downfield, waiting for someone to get open. But once the pressure forced his eyes down to see the rush, it was time to make a break for it.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90. Blue 90.
McCown looks to throw on third. And he locates Josh Hill, complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Josh Hill, a 16-yard touchdown. And the Saints are within an extra point of tying this thing up. So on third and medium, they dial up the pass, and it works to hit the end zone.
And it's really not a surprise to me. That's a throwing down in the NFL because of how tough it is to run the football. But what offenses like to do is still show run formations to make them respect it and throw out of those. In this case, they took a nice shot at the end zone and made it pay off.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. So the Patriots coming out now. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that, they had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Look at the spin.
Balance.
And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. It goes as a pickup of 23. And that's good for a New England first down.
Well, plenty of credit has to go to the guy carrying the ball. He broke the tackle and gained the yardage. But that doesn't necessarily mean that the defender's bad. They're not going to make 100% of the tackles all the time. Even the best in the game will miss one occasionally. The key is not to let it snowball and miss tackle after tackle. On that play, credit to the offense, but that doesn't make the defense bad.
A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Look pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
Hey. Leopard. Watch the twist.
Garoppolo. Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a gain of 17 that time. And it'll give the Patriots a first down.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in his own blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time.
And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. Dion Lewis with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Pats able to cash in for 6. So the second time tonight he has hit the end zone, Charles.
Some people just have a natural nose for the end zone, and he's exhibiting that here in this game. Big-time job, and, of course, he's got to pat the backs of the offensive line.
Yeah, they can't be lost in the shuffle. They're vital. And this is going to be roughing the kicker, an inexcusable penalty, Charles.
You've worked so hard to hold him to a three-point kick. Now you're giving him the ball again with a chance for a touchdown.
Now the Saints, they trot their offense out here, and they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive, but they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
McCown throwing on second. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. It'll be a gain of 4, and that's going to bring up a third down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And on the outside, they're playing press coverage. Defense thinking pass. They've got the nickel set out on 3rd and 6. McCown, nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Patriots have it.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
They run. This is Lewis. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down. Well, there was no blitz. That was just a draw play that, to be frank, didn't fool anybody.
Did we hear the entire stadium screaming draw? Because it felt like everybody was all over that play, and the defense won that battle.
They try again with Lewis. And he'll push his way up to about the 14. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
All right, here we go.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down. So now on 4th down, on comes Stephen Gostkowski to try and get the Pats 3. And the 10-year vet knocks it through the goalpost. And they will move up by 10 now, 17-7. So they recover the fumble but could not take advantage of the short field. They do get 3.
And no one ever turns down 3 points going up on the board, but the offense will go to the sidelines wondering what if. While the defense on the other side, they'll celebrate holding them to just a field goal after giving up such bad field position.
The Saints coming out now to take the field. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
Big word. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. Back to Foxborough after this. We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes' time, we'll hand you off to Orlando, where Larry Ridley will have highlights and analysis of this first half of action. Again, we'll see the pistol here. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. Now a man who sat out 3 seasons. This is Tim Hightower. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
second down following the run.
Over! All right, now, look at 56. Here we go. He's back to Philly. Here we go. All right, here we go. 3-19.
On second down, here's McCown. And he's got his man on the out route. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Cool under pressure right there, escaping the pocket and finding what I think was not his primary target.
And some of these guys are just so comfortable getting outside of the pocket that they'll do it on purpose. It doesn't even need to be a breakdown. They move, and they know it affects the defense, because a lot of times you get lost in coverage in the secondary, and I think you're exactly right. Wasn't his primary target. Found a secondary guy who sprang open, probably because of his movement out of the pocket. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Give him a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
I like the call. Inside the red zone, running the toss. Why? They want to get to the edges. They want to see if guys who don't normally make a lot of tackles are willing to actually do that. That usually means the guy's at the cornerback position.
To throw is McCown. And it's caught. The tight end Hill. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down. And here comes play number 6 on this drive. Another pistol look here. From the gun on 3rd, McCown. This will be caught at about the 5. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the left hash, should be a fairly easy one here. And Barth puts it through. And they're back within a touchdown. It's 17-10. So a field goal here, they're still down, but they put a dent into that lead before the break.
And that's got to feel good, because now they've seen that they can put some more points on the board, and that gives them a whole second half to get back to where they want to be, and that's in the lead.
Morstead, the punter, out to kick it off. On the return now, here's Keyshawn Martin. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. So we have reached halftime in our first preseason matchup of the year, as we'll send you down the coast to Orlando, where we check in with our friend Larry Ridley and the EA Sports Halftime Report. Larry?
Thanks, Brandon, and welcome to the EA Halftime Report. Let's take a look back at the first half. Both teams have had their moments so far today, and that's why we have a tight game on our hands. We'll have to see if either side can take control in the second half. All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from the first half. Now following the fumble, Danny Amendola making a catch coming across the middle, and he'll end up at their own 45-yard line before being tackled. The drive would wrap up with a pick on the defense. 1st and 10, Bennett's the target here, and he'll end up picking up 23 yards on the play. Continuing on the drive, Lewis is going to get it here on the screen, and it ends up working for a touchdown as they put the first points on the board. 3rd down at the 16. McCown's got the completion from the gun, and it ends up working for a touchdown. We're tied back up at 7. Now midway through the second, Lewis is going to break into the secondary, and he'll run it in from 24 yards out. That takes the lead up to 7.
Thank you, LR. Appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. That's fielded in the end zone. And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half two, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. Here's Spiller. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Second down, 8. McCown to throw on second down. They complete it to Hill. 7 yards on the play, and that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
When you execute a drag or a crossing route really well and give them a chance to let it develop a little bit, you can gain some significant yardage hitting your tight end on that one.
Third down and 1. This is Spiller. They give him 7 yards on the play, and they do pick up the conversion on 3rd down.
Everyone understood their role on that play. 3rd and 1. You know the defensive guys, they're trying to get down and get low and get leverage on the offensive lineman, but they didn't allow that to happen. They created a crease and allowed him to get through for a first down.
And a new set of downs here after picking up the first on the ground. McCown now on first down. Looking left side, he's got it, complete. And he's brought down after a good gain. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
They come up in an offset eye. On first down, McCown on the screen, complete to Spiller. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
This is Hightower. We'll call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
The more football I watch, the more I want to check and see if teams are going to panic when they're down on the scoreboard. And this team has shown no signs of doing that. A lot of the time, they come out after the half. Things haven't worked so well in the first go-around. They want to throw the football like crazy. But the way to open up throwing the ball is to run it. And they've run it well here to start.
And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. The former first-round pick from Boise State, Shea McClellan, from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. McCown throwing on second. He's got time in the pocket. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball, and I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. Garoppolo. He was trying to go to Aaron Dobson that time, and that'll make it 2nd and 10. Offense still needing 10 yards, 2nd down. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains.
That looked like a pretty good route combination there because you've got to find a way to clear the guy running the drag, because when you do, you just put the ball on him and then let him run.
Yeah, he's got some space. Garoppolo now. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackler was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Again, it's Lewis. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
This is Lewis. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. He's a 2nd-round pick, a solid 2nd-round pick, but when you're close to that first round, do you come in with a little chip on your shoulder?
You definitely do, because now your money's not the same. But even more than that, it's the prestige. Everyone wants to be a first-round pick, and he thought his talent demanded that. And I do know some teams in the league that had first-round grades on him.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good infusion of youth.
And they didn't really reach to get anyone as well. They stuck to their draft philosophy, got the best players they could at the time they were drafting, and inserted them into their lineup.
Here's play number 7 on the drive. This is 3rd and 7.
Hey. 4 down. All right, here we go.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's got the tight end, Harbor. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory.
And he's the epitome of what we call the move tight end, a guy that you can line up anywhere, in the slot, out wide, in tight. Doesn't really matter because he has such great skills. You want to utilize him in all aspects of your passing offense.
And there he was in the slot for the catch. They'll run it here. This is James White. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
Now a carry for White. Call it no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
And this one is right down Broadway. And they double them up here. That makes our score 20-10. So put another 3 on the board, and all things considered, a good opening drive here to begin the third quarter.
It sure was. I think as a head coach, you're happy to come out and put a little drive together, take the 3 points, and build on your lead.
And he'll probably wish he reconsidered. Cost him 10 yards now with a new rule as he's down at the 15-yard line.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these teams, special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light day. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. McCown to throw on second down. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The tight end Josh Hill was the target. And it'll be third down. And the offense looking to pick up the first down after the second down incompletion.
An extra corner on the field for New England here on third down.
Yeah, another DB. He's got his man. It's Brandon Coleman. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the first down. A solid gain of 15 yards, and the sticks move. So he makes the grab, and the chains move forward.
Nice job by the offensive line, giving them time to complete that first down pass.
They run with Spiller. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
We just saw another example of how the defense is winning this game. Really at the point of attack, the offensive line is just getting pushed around. I think now as a play caller, you got to give them a little bit of help. Maybe keep your tight ends a little bit more. Maybe the running backs help you a little bit with the pass blocking. But you've got to help them get some confidence because you can't abandon the play calling right now.
Holding, defense.
So we'll get the penalty all sorted out when we get back. We'll return with more preseason football on EA Sports. Back now in Foxborough. It's the Saints who hold the football, but they're trailing as we begin the fourth quarter of play. Throwing on first is McCown. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
It looked like they had something there, but I think that he was thinking about running with the football before he actually hauled it in, and that led to a big drop.
Back to the air on second down. McCown dumps it off for Spiller. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and that's going to make it third down and less than a yard. Play number 7 coming on this drive. It's 3rd and inches. Now a toss to Spiller. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the first down, and that's exactly what he did.
And he will find his man on the outside. And he gets this one all the way down inside the 15. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, There's a premium for all of that now.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Looked like they had an opportunity for a big play across the middle, but he didn't have the concentration or the focus necessary and dropped it before he could haul it in.
Now Spiller. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
Well, as the play call comes in on 3rd down, you have to think about 4-down territory here. Down a few touchdowns, they need points, and they need big points.
Well, just play after play after play on this long drive for the offense. They come up in an offset eye. Again on the ground, again it's Spiller. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the first down.
First and goal here from the 2. Now Hightower. And he'll go backwards, losing yardage to the 5. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. And on the outside, they're playing press coverage.
When you're putting together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
They gotta have 6 here. It's 3rd and goal. They'll give to Spiller, and he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. C.J. Spiller punching it in from a yard away. And the Saints are back within a score.
But they decided to run it in and got it done on 3rd and goal. A lot of times, that's a passing play.
And the kicker just has to come out for the PAT. He can breathe a sigh of relief as well, right?
Although I don't know if he's really breathing a sigh of relief. I think he likes to put 3 points on his ledger.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And trotting back out there now, this Saints defense. And even though that last drive yielded points, it was a long field goal, so they probably weren't too upset about it. Although here, obviously, they'd like to give up 0.
Of course, that's the goal each and every time out. But when they make that type of a field goal that long, you almost give them a little nod of respect to the kicker, like, congratulations, but you do feel pretty good about not giving up anything big.
Yeah, and we'll see if they can not give up anything big on this drive. Complete to Washington. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and it'll be a 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
Here's White. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. It's a 4-yard pickup there, and it leaves him with 3rd and 5. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up in the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Wide open receiver complete. 30. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play there for New England. 47 yards.
Coaches really don't care from what position they get this, but run after the catch ability, rack ability, is often the difference between winning and losing and changing field position.
Now White trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10.
And that run was memorable for only one reason. There's absolutely no place to run with the football. No gaps, no creases, no gain.
They stay on the ground with White. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take. Puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
There's a quick hitter on the slant. That's complete. 18 yards there, and it'll be a 1st and goal.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
That's so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here. And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriot score. James White taking it in from a yard out. And the Patriots add on to their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
This one taken just inside the 10. Able to get away.
That's why you keep the legs churning.
And a good return. He's across the 35-yard line, right around the 36. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset, because it's
nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and it's picked up by the Patriots. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
And the Patriots gearing up to go now. And that last drive, so effective in the passing game, resulting in the touchdown. Maybe not many people were focused on the trenches. There was good protection there.
Excellent protection. So now, defensively, you've almost got to get down to those starters blocks like you're a sprinter. Get lower than those guys on offense and find a way to roar through them or around them to get into the face of the pass.
Easier said than done, though.
Way easier said than done. But they've got to try something, because right now they're just cutting them to shreds.
It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives them a new set of downs.
2nd and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. I bet the offensive linemen said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the 1st down. They love being physical.
They'll run with White. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. So the Patriots with a football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is going to lose yardage here. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
To me, that's a superior play by the backer, because he was allowed to, I think, run free on it and make that play. His defensive linemen, they covered things down for him, because offensive guys, the linemen, what they're trying to do, as you know, is block the guy at the point of attack and then climb to the next level and get the linebacker. When you're not allowed to climb, you got a free hitter, and that's what we saw there, and a really nice play resulted for them.
And Gostkowski's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3 there, but clearly anything helps when you're trying to salt one away here in the 4th.
Without a doubt, I think a touchdown would have been the final nail. But 3 does give them some breathing room and lets them build up a little cushion.
Out onto the field comes New Orleans. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punch in the end zone without turning it over.
Give them 18 on that one. And that leads to a New Orleans first down. And the offense moving quickly to the line. McCown now on first down. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. McCown looks to throw again. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. So the offense lining up 1st and 10. It's a 5-receiver set. 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Into the red zone now. It's McCown. And this is intercepted. And nothing but daylight ahead. Picked off by Deron Harmon. The 20. 10. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Patriot defense has a touchdown. And on that one, with 6 defensive backs, did he need to be more careful throwing the football? I mean, I guess obviously hindsight he did, but...
Yeah, hindsight, but even in foresight, when you got 6 defensive backs on the field, you just know you're going to get multiple coverages. You're never sure what you're going to see. But the biggest one is you don't have much reaction time for your receivers to go get the football because those guys, they're the best cover guys on the field. They go get it. And on that play, they took it the other way for 6 points.
And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. And there's a quick momentum swing. INT return for a pick 6, and then the 2-point conversion good.
And even if you're keeping your wits about you, you're thinking to yourself, okay, extra point block team going into the game now. All of a sudden you're hearing defense. Everyone's scrambling for their helmets and throwing down their cups of water. That's a great position for them to be in, trying to score against that team. A little bit disjointed.
On 1st and 10, here's McCown. He's going to let it fly. And that's caught inside the 35. And he takes this one down all the way near the 30. Well, Charles, there's an old saying, don't let a loss be...